Hey, history buffs! Today, I'm diving into the whirlwind of geopolitical tension known as the Cold War. Buckle up, because I've got just 3 minutes to cover decades of espionage, nuclear threats, and ideological battles. First off, what was the Cold War? Picture this, it's the late 1940s. World War II has just ended and two superpowers emerge from the ashes, the United States and the Soviet Union. These two nations couldn't be more different. The US stood for capitalism and democracy, while the Soviet Union was all about communism and state control. Now, despite never engaging in direct combat, these superpowers waged a war of words, threats, and proxy battles. The Cold War was essentially a massive chess game on a global scale. One of the first major standoffs happened in Berlin in 1948. The city was divided amongst the Allies, but the Soviets blockaded West Berlin, aiming to starve out the US, British, and French sectors. The response? The Berlin airlift. Where the Allies dropped supplies from the sky, it was a bold move that showcased Western resolve. Fast forward to 1957, the space race begins. The Soviets launch Sputnik, the first artificial satellite into space. The US freaks out, thinking they're falling behind, so NASA ramps up, leading to the moon landing in 1969. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right? Now, let's not forget the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. The world held its breath as the US discovered Soviet missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida. President Kennedy demanded their removal, and after tense negotiations, the Soviets backed down. Phew! Throughout the Cold War, both sides amassed nuclear arsenals capable of wiping out the planet several times over. This was the era of mad, mutually assured destruction. The idea was that if either side launched a nuclear attack, it would mean total annihilation for both. Scary stuff, huh? And let's talk about the proxy wars. While the US and Soviet Union didn't fight directly, they supported opposing sides in conflicts around the globe. Think Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. These wars were brutal and devastating, often for the countries caught in the middle. Then, in the 1980s, things started to shift. The Soviet economy was struggling, and leaders like Mikhail Gorbachev introduced reforms like glasnost and perestroika, aiming to open up and restructure the Soviet system. Meanwhile, US President Ronald Reagan ramped up pressure with a massive arms buildup. By 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, a symbol of the crumbling divide between East and West. 2 years later, in 1991, the Soviet Union itself dissolved, marking the official end of the Cold War. So there you have it, the Cold War in a nutshell. It was a time of immense tension, technological advancements, and global shifts that still impact us today. If you enjoyed this quick dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. Thanks for watching.